So the Cincinnati Bengals signed Jamar Chase and T. Higgins to record contract extensions. I think this was not a great move if you ask me. I mean, they're both great receivers. You probably had to do this, but I think the rest of the team is going to suffer from this if I'm being completely honest. Most of their salary cap is going to three players, although it's their three most important players. There's other players on the field that you need in order to succeed, like a great offensive line, a good defense, etc. And when you just paying most of your cap to three offensive players, it just to me it's a recipe for disaster. But in all honesty, I do not blame the Bengals for making this decision because you have to pay them or else they were going somewhere else to get paid. You know what I mean? Jamar Chase just had the best season any receiver had this past year. He won the triple crown. He had the most receptions, yards, and touchdowns. So of course he has to get paid as like the most highest paid receiver in the league. He deserved it. And T. Higgins also had an amazing year, over 1,000 yards. He just produces, man. When Jamar is not open, when they're double teaming or triple teaming Jamar, he's right there. He makes plays. He's a great route runner. He's a great receiver as well. So I don't blame the Bengals for making this decision, but I think they will suffer from it if I'm just being completely honest. Their offense will always be good with these three players, including Joe Burrow under helm, but it's going to hurt the rest of the team. Like, let's just keep it 100, y'all. They're the only team that has most of their cap. I think more than half of their cap going to only three players. So let's get into this article. Jamar Chase agrees to record 161 million contract, and T. Higgins agrees to record, not a record, but $115 million deal. Now, this is pretty crazy to pay both receivers in the same offseason. Usually, you see one receiver get paid and the next one get paid the year after, or they have to put in the work with this team, show what they can do, and then they end up getting paid from another team off the work they did with this team. The appreciation in the NFL is just not there. They take receivers and players for granted. So the Bengals, they didn't want to do that. They franchised T. Higgins for the second year in a row, so no team could offer him or try and come get him. And then they ended up signing him to an extension. So the Bengals, I feel like their back was against the wall. It was a lose-lose situation for them. Signing both of these guys, don't get me wrong, is a win. But the rest of the team will suffer from this. And I think we all know that. Their defense was absolutely shit last year. And I don't see their defense getting any better when when you're paying these top three players that much money. Like, just take, for example, Patrick Mahomes. They decided to sign him way early, like to a 10-year, $450 million contract. And look how well that's working out for the Chiefs, man. Like, if I'm keeping it 100. And I hate the Chiefs. But when you sign a player before and make him happy, the number is a lot lower than it would be if you wait and wait and wait and wait to the last minute and you got to sign them then, because players are only getting paid more money. Look what the Eagles did with A.J. Brown. 3 years, $96 million. Everyone at the time was like, whoa, that's crazy. That's crazy. But that's only an annual of about $33 million a year. For A.J. Brown, that's a damn bargain nowadays, man. Like, look at Justin Jefferson. He's getting paid $35 million a year. That's a lot of money, but they decided to extend him when the time was right. They probably could have extended him a year earlier and got it cheap, a few million cheaper. But they didn't wait and wait and wait to the last minute like the Bengals did. Now the Bengals are paying Jamar Chase over $5 million more than Justin Jefferson is getting paid. And if you ask me, I do think Jamar Chase is a little bit better than Justin Jefferson, just like a tiny smidge better. but he doesn't deserve 5 more million than Justin Jefferson. Like, he reset the wide receiver market. So now when other wide receivers, when it's their turn to get paid, the numbers are going to be over 40 million because of the Bengals, pretty much. You know what I mean? If the Bengals would have paid Jamar Chase last year, they could have got him at 36 million or 35 million a year. If they would have paid T. Higgins last year, they could have got him at maybe 22, 25 million. But now you're paying them. T. Higgins is getting paid more than any other wide receiver two in the league. And that's going to hurt the Bengals, man. The salary cap is going up, but it's not going up by much. And then they're letting Trey Henderson walk. That was the only good part of their defense, if you ask me. Like, that's what kept their defense together, him getting all those sacks. Even though their defense was ass, they came through in some pivotal moments down the stretch. You see, they went on a good run, and that was really because of Trey Hendrickson. So, the Bengals, they're going to be in a tough spot, even though if I was a Bengals fan, I would want to keep these two receivers. I would be happy that we kept them, but I would be worried in the long run what's going to happen with the rest of the team. And that's just me keeping it 100, man. So, um, we'll see what happens with the Bengals. They got to improve that defense. Their offense is going to be prolific. We know that when you have two great receivers like that. I wish the Chargers had a great receiver like this, like Jamar Chase or T. Higgins. We don't have anyone that's even equivalent to them. But Justin Herbert gets so much hate and slack when he's throwing to a fucking rookie receiver, and that's it. I mean, what do you guys expect him to do when Quentin Johnson is his top receiver? Like, what the fuck? This is trash. And the Bengals, they didn't want to go through that. They didn't want to risk losing either one of these guys. And I don't blame them for that. But like I said, the rest of the team needs some attention now. You know what I mean? The defensive side of the ball needs some attention now. You could address it in the draft, but are you really expecting the rookie to just come in and transform that defense? I don't think that's going to happen. You know what I mean? Me personally, I think the Bengals should have invested. They should have tagged Trey Hendrickson and then tried to keep T. Higgins. Because I don't see any other team that was going to pay T. Higgins up to $30 million per year. Maybe so, but nothing over like 32 million or, you know what I mean? So if the Bengals were planning to pay him 28 million, he probably would have took a few million less and stayed with the Bengals, if we being completely honest, because when he goes to another team, the more focus is going to be on him because he's going to be a wide receiver one pretty much any other team he goes to, and the cornerbacks are going to be following him instead of following Jamar Chase. I mean, the top cornerbacks on the defensive side of the ball, the teams they're playing. So the Bengals, at the end of the day, I feel like they did make the right decision, but I also, I'm like iffy. I feel like it's going to hurt them too. It's like a double-edged sword, you know what I mean? But these two receivers are great. They truly are. I love T. Higgins. I love Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is so fast. People don't even realize that that guy is a fucking tremendous athlete. He gets open all the time, pretty much. Against your number one cornerbacks, he's going to get open. And I think he's a dog, bro. I truly do. The Bengals made this decision right. They were one of the cheapest franchises. I would say the Chargers are the cheapest franchise, and the Bengals are right underneath them. But they're trying to change that narrative. They want the NFL to know that they're coming and that they're willing to invest in them winning. And with that being said, they paid these boys. They paid them good, man. So that's a lot of money, man. You know what I mean? Jamar Chase guaranteed $112 million out of the $161 million contract he got. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens with that. But let's get back into this article. The team announced last April it picked up Chase's option for the 2025 season, which guaranteed him a $21.8 million salary. All of the signs pointed to Cincinnati giving him a much bigger payout sooner than later. They really had to. I mean, you just picking up his fifth-year option wasn't going to be enough to keep Jamar Chase happy. You know what I mean? If you're paying Joe Burrow all this money and they came in at the same, no, Joe Burrow came in a year before Jamar, but if you're paying Joe all this money, you believe in him, you gotta surround him with guys that he wants to throw the football to. And Joe Burrow has expressed this entire offseason that he doesn't want to lose either one of them. The salary cap is going up. That he thought they would be able to sign both of them, and that's what the Bengals did, man. They signed them boys, and their offense is going to be great for years to come. If I'm keeping it 100 with you guys, you know what I mean? And Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase just have a great connection, and T. Higgins also is just a guy that gets open, and he's a big body, 6'5", so he's going to win high balls. Him and Mike Williams are pretty much the best high ball receivers in the league. So, yeah, you guys tell me what you guys think about this. Do you guys think this was a smart move for Cincinnati to sign both receivers to this amount of money? Or do you think that they should have maybe worked on their defense and just signed one of these receivers and they would have been better off doing it that way? To be honest, I'm torn on both. Like I said, they kind of had to sign both of these guys. They want to keep their team happy. They want to keep Joe Burrow happy. But at the same time, man, you got to invest in that defense because that defense was absolutely shit last year. Like, garbage. So, we'll see what happens with the Cincinnati Bengals. They ended up getting it done. Um, yeah, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, they're dogs, though. They really are. So, let me know what you guys think about this situation. I know I haven't uploaded in a while, but, I'm trying to get back into the flow of things. So, we'll see how that goes. I don't get any views anyway, so no one's really watching these videos. I don't know what YouTube is doing with my videos and the algorithm, but hey, I'm going to just keep striving, keep going, keep dropping videos that I want to drop that I'm interested in, and we'll see what happens with that. So, it's your boy Trey Mace. We with Famous Mason Sports, man, and we out, man. Peace, much love.